care about it as much as I care about season 4 of MasterChef, right? They let a blind girl win a cooking competition somehow, and it's such bullshit because, and I'm not like anti-blind here, but there were like seeing competitors who were actually talented chefs, and they got kicked out for like.
Yeah, I am anti-blind, and it's bullshit.
When they get down to, I know he outed Helen Keller.
Yeah.
When it got down to 4 people remaining, they do this thing where, all right, it gets down to 4 people remaining, and so they pair off into teams of 2, and whichever one has the best dish, they're safe that night. The team that has the worser dishes that lose that competition, they now have to face off against each other, and one of them leaves the show. And it's like right away that like they let the blind chick choose her teammate because she like she by name, and she picks the best cook on the show, obviously Becky, and so Becky has to plate for 6 people. Like it's not just the host of the chef, it's also like 3 famous chefs, like world famous. So she has to cook and serve for 6 people. Meanwhile, the other team has 2 people. She gets completely fucked over and she loses the show.
Seems like Becky should win.
That's what I was thinking. They should have been like, wait, you're missing 2 things off the plates. And it's like, well, I was working with a blind girl. That's what she should have said. Actually, the camera trickery that they're using and the editing skills to make it seem like a blind girl is still in this competition 10 weeks in are what really meant that you didn't get your rice cake, sir. That's why you get your rice cake, sir. We were trying to magic a blind girl into winning. It was such nonsense. They showed her cut. They showed her cut things twice in the whole show. I watched an entire season of this shit. She went. And she's got a helper all the time, and the helper's like, "That's good." And it's like, you're cutting a piece of fish with a razor sharp knife. There's no way she's cutting all that shit. The time I actually saw like what she really does was when they did the thing where like, all right, you 4 are gonna run a kitchen, and you know, like for a restaurant, and like team 1 has 4 people running a side of the kitchen, and team 2 is running the other side of the kitchen, and they're competing against each other or whatever. And I'm like, so what is the blind chick doing in a professional kitchen where you see people moving fast, boiling water and stuff? She's standing there picking like cilantro leaves off the stems. She's the team leader, by the way.
Dropping them onto the ground.
She's filling she's been filling that bowl, which happens to be the trash can, for 3 fucking hours. they asked one of the co-hosts, like this guy Joe, who's like the meaner Gordon Ramsay, like, where do you think she fits into the kitchen? He's like, in the coat room.
I mean, it sounds like Joe's right.
And I was thinking, like, how's she ever gonna get my coat back to me? She doesn't know who I am or what I was wearing. She has no fucking clue. She's blind. So she's picking the stuff apart. She's the team leader, which means she's the one who's supposed to be like, more salt in that. Hey, get back over there. You need to be making more salmon patties. But she's fucking blind. So her helper has to be like, she's not stirring that. And then the blind girl goes, stir that more. And it's like, there's no way this is how y'all ran a fucking kitchen for 3 hours tonight.
Oh yeah.
There's no way
when you're like, when your ability to know when something is done is to like just catch it when it starts burning and smoke fills the air.
how would I use a blind person, right? If I'm cooking,
so many ways.
I would just make her my KitchenAid mixer. Right, that would be her job.
I have a KitchenAid mixer.
Well, we also have a blind person. We're trying to find a job for her.
She's also a
Woody's
little Asian
job
girl.
creator.
No elbow grease, Woody. No elbow grease. Little Asian girl. All right. On episode,
does she win the whole thing?
She won the whole fucking thing. In episode 3, they made apple pies, and she was crying because she thought her apple pie was ugly. Gordon Ramsay's like, "How do you think your pie looks?" And she's like, "Probably like trash." She's crying, and he's like, and for the first time, the camera cuts the pie. Like the audience sees it for the first time. It's beautiful. And he's like, "It's beautiful." And he starts like just really pumping her up, and she's crying, and I'm fucking crying watching this nonsense. And then like 10 episodes in, I'm
propaganda.
Like, I've seen too many good seeing women get cast aside so that this blind bitch can win this fucking $250,000. At the end, you get a cookbook. What do you do? Put it in Braille? Is it a Braille cookbook?
PKA, you were pro blindy.
I finished.
Your tears.
I didn't know they were going to let her win.
I was giving you new pronouns. You were so lame over it.
You're a flip flopper.
I didn't know they were just going to let her win. They just let her win.
What if the reveal had been that she's not blind and that was strategy the whole time?
I'm glad you brought that up. That's my closing argument. I'm 45% sure this bitch is not blind because there's multiple. Here's they have an audition at the beginning. It's like everyone who won the regional events gets brought to LA, like 40 or 50 of them. Show us that blind bitch. Is that what you're doing? Yeah, look at her. What you looking at, honey? What are you looking at? Yeah,
I mean, she's getting in the. No, she's. Oh, that's
she's
chicken or something. I thought she had her hand in a bowl of milk.
I thought she was measuring the depth of the milk.
She's got her hand there, so she knows when she's got enough. That's what she's doing. She's very blind.
I feel bad for her for being blind, but that's not fair to have her win if she can't even cut stuff.
She can cut stuff. She'll be like, "Where's my chef's knife?" And she'll fumble around for it, and then she's got it. It's great.
You said it was slowly though. Like the whole thing of these competitions is like Gordon screaming at them, like, "Why you fucking stupid? Get it done!"
Not this one so much, but like in the very first episode, the audition episode, she's got that unfortunate thing that blind people get where their eyes are all wonky and one's looking left and one's looking right. And if the camera is positioned just right, you can really make that worse. They did that. They gave her like fucking hammerhead eyes, and she was like squid. What's that fucking that Pixar cartoon where there's that one weasel with the eyes on the side?
Oh, Sid the Sloth.
She went full Sid the Sloth on him with the way they like hit her. By the end,
Pinecone.
Yeah, that's it. She's all wonky eyed there. By the end,
she looks normal. She looks normal there.
That sounded racist, but
don't make fun of her. She's all right. We can make fun of her because she's blind, but not because she's Asian, Woody. You're this close.
Crossing the line, dude.
You're this close.
Right? You called it.
I call that the Shanghai line there, and I won't allow you to cross it.
That's really unfair that they let her win. I'm sure she's a great chef, but it kind of can you imagine like every single runner-up knew why they didn't win, but they can all like rationalize it, like, oh yeah, I was in the season where the blind lady won, obviously I was a better chef. Like, no, like if Gordon is making a business decision, usually on these shows the winning prize, at least on Hell's Kitchen or whatever it is they get a job at one of Gordon's restaurants, like a full-time job. He would not hire a blind woman to work at his restaurant.
In this one, the prize is $250,000, and you get a cookbook that they then promote through with the whole next season of the show. And you come on an episode of the next season, cook a dish, and then the contestants have to do one of your dishes from your cookbook. So you get like multiple episodes of a big TV show devoted to pushing your book. She now owns a restaurant in Texas. So
she has to write a book she can't read?
She wrote a book she couldn't read. Yeah.
I love the idea that she gets hired at a Gordon Ramsay restaurant and she works there for 2.5 weeks without knowing it's a Wendy's.
Oh, just no.
Why do we fry so much here?
Shut up, Adam. Just say yes, chef.
So is she going to come back and host a challenge where everybody has to cook blindfolded next year? I mean, that
would be
absolutely obvious, right?
Oh, here's the best part of
it. It's like, you're all going to do a challenge in my world, and Gordon turns her to face the contestants. Like, that would be so
like funny. So like one of the things I learned real quickly when I started like trying to cook a little bit was like a real chef's knife, like that you keep sharp, is super dangerous. And you don't realize how much you would cut yourself when you start using a good knife, you cut yourself. I guess what I'm getting at. They do this thing in the audition where they've narrowed it down to like 50, 60 people. There's still a crowd of assholes, and they line them up with like apples, and they're like, peel and slice those apples as uniformly as you can. I want perfect half slices of apples, no more and no less than 1/8 inch thick, as many as you can do. And they're like, all right, where's the peelers? The knives are right there. No peelers. So now you've got 60 people as fast as they can peeling and slicing apples with razor sharp sponsored kitchenware, and they're constantly going, medic. Like, some of them have so many bandages on their hands that they're just they put the bandages on and then they put gloves over the bandages, so they look like balloon animal hands that they're like slicing with at this point, because they've cut every fucking finger, some of these dopes. And meanwhile Gordon's walking around like, fail, like not even letting them finish.
These bloody apples.
He always makes sure it's always something different. It's not always apples. It could be carrots or potatoes or whatever the fuck. He gets down to two of them left. One of you gets to fight for $250,000. The other's going home fucking today. Like, you just got to Los Angeles. Like we haven't even gotten to the cool studio yet. Whoever I think is the better apple slicer, and they're 2 hours in. to slide. There's a pile of fucking apples.
It's an endurance challenge.
These people are looking pale from blood loss. And like one poor asshole leaves like an apple stem in, and he's like, "Get the fuck out of here!" And like Susie, you're going to Hollywood or whatever.
Are you blind?
It's and they continuously do that old bit where he's like, "Tommy, take your apron off and put it back on extra tight because you're staying."
That's so stupid.
Oh, I love the Gordon fake outs.
I hate it. It's so cliche at this point. It's so lame. And yeah.
All right. So here's my best.
Sometimes it gets you.
My best and final observation from watching MasterChef. They had a season where they've got, it's all white people and Asian people. One black guy. He's 7 feet tall. Really talented chef. He ended up coming in second place in that season. 7 foot tall guy. Blind. This is the blind chick season. He gets voted off though. Now there's only 6 remaining. But then at the beginning of the next episode, now there's only 6 remaining, and now it's time for the celebrity chef. Coincidentally, look who it is! It's Paula Deen. Oh, that's crazy. They kicked the black guy off, and now here's Paula Deen cook some shrimp and grits for y'all. With smiling with her big fake teeth and everything. And I
appreciate that favor he did for me last episode.
Right. And that's what I thought. I was like, that's funny. I wouldn't have been surprised if like the black guy was like, I will not be on TV with Paula Deen. I know what she said. Because this is around that time. Like that wouldn't surprise me. The next episode, after Paula Deen's gone, Gordon says, got an idea. We're going to have a competition with everyone who's been kicked off the show. One of them's coming back. They bring the black guy back the next episode. He's on the show, off the show for a single episode. Paula Deen comes in and then right back in. They did a workaround. I guarantee that's what happened. It's too perfect for it not to be true, and it's too funny for it not to be true.
Now that is funny, but Gordon has done the "you're out, but bring him back in" before.
It fits too well.
Maybe it is funnier to believe it's because
not everything's a psyop, Kyle.
Paula Deen. It's like
this is Paula Deen psyop.
No, I'm fine with the blind girl. You know what the issue
MasterChef
is.
over on Hulu. It's a fucking ball. I didn't watch anything else this week. I don't think I didn't catch up on Halo. I didn't watch anything else. I don't think. I've just been watching Gordon Ramsay